I'll ask Robin if you could start coming up. We have Israel is a special place for us when we take trips there. I've done many trips to Israel, but we have a worker there in Tel Aviv, and she is just out of this world. Robin, she's here, and she's going to explain all about. She works with Chosen People Ministries, that I also work with Chosen People Ministries. I've been around a little longer than her. I started back in 1974 with Chosen People. And Robin is with us, but she's been doing a great work. And so she's going to explain about our ministry, Chosen People's Ministry in Tel Aviv. Okay, let's give warm welcome to Robin.
Thank you, Larry. Shabbat Shalom. It's so good to be back at Shuvah, Israel. Over the years, we've had some of your young adults come on our ministry teams and really had some wonderful connections. I once had a ministry team of young adults in Israel while Larry and a friend of his, Michael Rydelnik, were passing through. And I said, can you come and speak to them a bit about, anything you want? And they came. We met them in a hotel lobby. And they didn't do a teaching. They just went back and forth sharing stories of ministry over the years and sharing about the way the word and prayer and the Lord has been in their life. And when they left, I asked everyone, what do you take away from that? And there were two things. One was, it's great to have a friend to pray with, study the Bible with, do ministry with, community, friendship. But the other was the Word. The Word, how important it is to be in the Word. So it's wonderful to be here in a congregation that really loves the Word of God and really loves friendship and community and doing life together. I am living in Israel for the last 8 years with Chosen People Ministries. I've been with Chosen People Ministries for 16 years now. And I started in ministry in Israel in 1994, doing campus ministry as well. So I've seen ministry changing and shifting in Israel. And if you don't know this, in the 80s, there were about 200 known Messianic believers in Israel. And in the 90s, when I first moved there, there were about 2,000. We all knew each other. And now, people say between 20 and 30,000, but I will say last year, praise the Lord. Amazing things are happening. And last year, we brought together 8 young adults to go off to New Zealand to reach Israelis backpacking there. And when we brought them together to pray over them before they left, this is the first time I've ever seen this happen in Israel. They didn't know each other. They had to introduce themselves to each other. Now, of course, there were only a couple steps of separation. They all knew the same friends and the same people, but I had never seen that happen before, and I just give praise to God. He is doing great things and new things in Israel that are very exciting. We have 23 staff in Israel. We are all over the country. We have staff in the Golan Heights working with soldiers. We have staff in the South working with women going through difficult situations. We have 3 ministry centers in Israel. One is in Jerusalem, of course, and the other is in Tel Aviv. These are the 2 biggest cities in the country. And of course, the ministry looks different because people in Jerusalem live a little more conservative and religious-leaning lifestyle, and people in Tel Aviv, well, that is like if LA and New York City had a baby. It's very secular. So our ministries look different, and we have a 3rd center in Sderot, where we work mostly with Holocaust survivors and some people who are living on the fringe of poverty. Throughout the country, the reports are that people are more open to the Lord than they ever have been. In the 90s, when I would tell someone that I was Jewish and believed in Jesus, the next time they saw me, they'd be like this, like, don't talk to me. And now when I tell someone I'm Jewish, I believe in Jesus, they're like, oh my gosh, I wanted to meet one of you. I have so many questions. Praise God. Only God could be changing hearts like this. So ministry like this is happening amongst all the communities we work with throughout the country, but I'm the director of the Tel Aviv region, and in Tel Aviv, we went from 8 years ago having 3 staff. We now have 11 staff, and we cannot keep up with the ministry opportunities that there are. I want to show you a quick video, and then I'll put a little more faces to it and stories so you can really understand what's happening in Israel today. Tel Aviv is a very vibrant and diverse city. Israelis from all over the country love to visit. We have a thriving ministry center in Tel Aviv, reaching this young and energetic population. Let me share some facts about Tel Aviv with you before explaining our ministry focus. The city has grown from a small neighborhood to a major cosmopolitan city in slightly more than 100 years, and it is still thriving today. The history of Tel Aviv begins in 1909 when a few dozen families founded what they called Achuzat Bayit, which is roughly translated as homestead. One of Tel Aviv's most significant population booms came between 1929 and 1939, during which the population grew from 4,000 to 135,000 residents. These were mostly immigrants fleeing persecution in Europe and included many scholars, physicians, and lawyers who greatly enriched the culture of the Jewish city. Now the Tel Aviv metropolitan area is booming in population. Today, Tel Aviv is Israel's economic and cultural center. Tel Aviv is filled with hip cafes where young Israeli professionals can operate their mobile offices and have their business meetings. It boasts of a diverse population. Every Jewish ethnic group is represented, as well as many foreign workers, college students, and lots of young people getting started in life. It is a predominantly young population, but there are also many elderly and Holocaust survivors who love the young vibe of the city, and they love the cultural events and the ease of walking down the road for all their needs. With this background, let me now describe how Chosen People Ministries is ministering to the people of Tel Aviv. We have built a strong social community around our ministry center, which is a safe place for people from all walks of life come and fellowship, meet people, and enjoy God's presence, whether they believe in Him yet or not. We recognize Tel Aviv is a predominantly secular place with a huge population of unreached Jewish people, many who are seeking spiritual answers and a deeper meaning to life. Our center provides opportunities for people to get out, to get to know each other, and to find some of these answers to their questions. Our ministry center hosts cultural events and concerts, as well as Shabbat dinners and holiday dinners. We also conduct worship nights, Bible studies, and seminars for those who are seeking a spiritual experience. In addition, we plan events for Holocaust survivors, children, and young adults. Our Tel Aviv Messianic Center is strategically located amid more than 4 million Israelis. It is our hope that many of the people of Tel Aviv will come to know Jesus as their Messiah, the Messiah of Israel. We also want to continue to build our community where believers can grow in their faith through our events and Bible studies. We're excited to see what more the Lord has in store for this beautiful and vibrant city, Tel Aviv. That video was all filmed in our current center. We've been operating that center for the last 6 years, and we went from 3 or 4 people coming to Bible studies. Do not despise small beginnings. Be faithful to what the Lord's put on your heart. We're bursting at the seams. Events have over 120, 130 people coming. Young adults, Holocaust survivors, children's events, believers and non-believers. We thought some events, it's a community center with a faith base, right? We have everything from paint and sip to English as a second language, Bible studies, worship night, coffee house music nights where one believing and one non-believing band play. And they invite their email list to come, and quite the conversations around the space. And people really do feel comfortable bringing their friends. And amazingly, people are bringing their friends to worship nights. One worship night, one of the young women who just finished the army came in with a friend, and her friend wasn't a believer. And I saw throughout the whole worship night, they're whispering and talking. And I asked, what was she asking you? What were you guys talking about? And she said, well, she was asking about these words in the worship songs. What is the difference between mercy and grace? Why do we need mercy and grace? And then she stayed and she asked several other people, are you also a believer in Jesus? How did that happen? How did you come to know Jesus? People are bringing friends to worship events as well as the seeker-friendly events. It's amazing to see. So we are really thankful for all the events that are happening, but our center is also connecting our online ministry and our backpacker ministry. We have outreach to Israelis. All Israelis serve in the army, and then for 6 months to a year, they go travel. And they have specific spots they go to. And in some of these spots, in New Zealand, in Japan, we own guest houses that are free for 3 nights to show God's love in a practical way. There, they hear about Yeshua, and they spend a few days getting to know the believers. But when they come back to Israel, they get invited to reunions at our center. At the last reunion, one of the young women sitting there said to me, I'm not sure about this Jesus stuff, but what I sense here is community. And I need that in my life. I don't feel like I have that. And so I followed up with her. A couple other staff followed up with her. She met us for coffees, and she decided to come to the women's ministry brunch. She came to the brunch. There was a devotional shared, and she said, I'm still not sure about this Jesus stuff, but it's starting to make sense to me that we might be created for a relationship with God. Please pray for Leah. She is definitely on a seeking journey and staying very close to the believers. We also use it for follow-up on our online outreaches. We have 2 websites for seekers. One called La'omek. It's seeking out the deep things. It starts with more the life issues, relationships, anxiety, the things we all go through. And one called Isaiah53.com, but in Hebrew. And our staff call and follow up and say, hey, did you receive that book you ordered? Do you have any questions about it? And one young man, Avi, said, yeah, I got the book, and I do have some questions. They started a conversation. Start point Isaiah 53, the one who suffered and died for our sins. The staff shared his testimony about how he came to faith, invited him to an event at our center. He saw a room full of successful, smart, wonderful people who love Jesus and are Jewish and Israeli. And he started asking more questions, began coming to Bible study, came to faith, joined a congregation, and is now bringing his friends to next events. So the Lord is doing tremendous things. And I want to share with you also about a woman named Ida. Ida is a Holocaust survivor. And she comes to our events for the Holocaust survivors. And at first she came for the fun and the fellowship. We do classical music events, klezmer music. Sometimes we take them on a tour of an area like Jaffa and then back to our center for lunch. And then the staff presented the idea, would anyone be interested in a Bible study? All of these people are quite secular. Many of them came from the former Soviet Union, and they really grew up detached from their Judaism. And 20 people said, yes, we will come to a weekly Bible study. And they started coming to the Bible study. And Ida said, coming to the center has made me connect to my Judaism and connect to the culture of Israel in a new way. Coming to the Bible study has helped me learn that God is real and wants a relationship with me. I've even begun to pray and start to seek what it is to get to know him. I mean, praise God. Praise God. Just 15 years ago, when someone in Israel came to faith, we would tell that testimony and story for the next few years because it wasn't happening often. But God is doing something. It is a window of opportunity that is phenomenal. And it is a time to be praying for Israel and praying into Israel and praying and watching what is happening over there. Now we have people coming to faith on a regular basis, and they're coming back and bringing their family. I was in a congregation one day, and I met someone who said that they just came to faith like a few months before, and sitting next to them was their family. Not believers, but instead of, being against him, they said, we want to come and see what has changed your life. Now, are there still the issues that some families will bring you to a deprogrammer to unbrainwash you from believing in Jesus? Of course. Is there sometimes at our events we have people stand outside and tell people not to come in to our event? We pray for them. I believe they're all Pauls. They're all... God is going to do something. We love them. And we know someone who came to faith because we hired a security guard to be outside. And he said that what he saw in how we as the staff love and care for and understand the reasoning why people stand outside and why we pray for them, because they don't understand. And we know they don't understand. And that we pray for them with love made him think, that's crazy. Only like God could do that in someone's heart, that you would love the people who are kind of against you. And so he started to ask people their stories. And he came to faith, and he married a believing woman, and they are now a family serving the Lord. So, God is doing amazing things through every step of the way. As I said, we're bursting out of the seams. We don't fit in our center anymore. And by God's grace, we have bought a new space. The one we're in, we're renting, and that's kind of problematic. You never know when you're going to be kicked out or lose your lease. So we bought a space. It is 2.5 times the size, and it's on 2 floors. So we'll have our big events on one floor, and the other floor will have classrooms for different classes and seminars and events. We have a cafe space people can come into off the streets. And right now, we can't run a children's program at the same time as we run an adult program because of our space, but we'll be able to run children's program, teens program, and adult programs all at the same time. We're really excited for what's in store ahead. People are coming from multiple congregations. People are coming from all over the country. And I just ask that you stand with us in prayer and really follow what's happening in Israel. On the back table, there are these flyers that you can fill out to get my prayer updates. And I'll be back there after the service if you have questions, if you want to ask anything or share anything. But also for the teenagers and young adults, we have ministry trips to Israel in the summer. And you can come and partner with us at the center in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv. And so if you're interested in that, come see me or check out chosenpeople.com. There's information online too. But I'm so thrilled to be here, especially in this season that is a really reflective season of focusing on the Lord. And it's a season that we really pray many of our people come to know Yeshua as their Messiah. Larry? Thank you.
I met Robin when did Chosen People do that tour? About 2006 or so. I met her, and we were on the same buses together, a bunch of Chosen People. Those of you who don't know, Chosen People is a worldwide organization, and Mitch Glazer heads it up as president, and he's doing a really great job. He's the one who has the vision for everything. Every week he comes up with something new. Anyway, so he had the great vision for Tel Aviv. But I remember meeting Robin about 2006, and we did the tour with Chosen People, and I just loved her spirit. I just, if I was not a believer and she was telling me about the Lord, I could not get mad at this woman. She's too nice. Anyway, so I'm just so thrilled with what's going on. You really excited me about Tel Aviv. Makes me wish I was there. But then again, whatever. It's great that she is there serving the Lord. And so we got to keep her in prayer. Please make sure you see her back. Talk to her a little bit. Keep her ministry in prayer. She works with Chosen People Ministries. And she's our worker there in Tel Aviv. Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me here.
That's really exciting. It's just so cool. We have a center there, and they flock young, middle-aged, old people. And what are you doing here? And all they want to do is talk about the Lord. And that's all she wants to do. So we got to keep them in prayer. That's wonderful. Thanks so much, Robin. And remember her, Chosen People Ministries, and prayer.
Hey, Jim White here from Shuvah, Yisrael, California, here in Irvine, California. Click here on the round Shuvah logo to subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss a Shuvah video. Todah B'Shem Yeshua.